Welcome to the exercise portion of the core module. As I talked about in the last video, your core is involved in every move that we make throughout our day. So you can't necessarily isolate the core, and all of the exercises that I'm going to show you in this video are also included in the program. But I do like to place a few exercises here that if you want to target the core, there's some hand and leg movements as well in these, but these are excellent exercises to really just focus on that one area for a few minutes if you want to do that. So in the last video, I talked about what not to do, which is to just suck in and brace your core, because it doesn't allow you to move as quickly or as easily that we need to on a horse. Our horses move very quickly, and we need our hips and we need our body to be able to move. But I didn't show you what to do, which that was intentional. I felt like it was better placed in this video. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that, teach you how to properly engage your core so that you can still move effectively coming in or out of barrels or after calves or just when your horse is moving. So we talked about the six-pack muscles. They play a little role in stability, but we really want to target these lower core muscles, the deep core, specifically the transverse abdominals. And to do that, we're going to use some breathing. So if you were to inhale and then exhale, but hiss when you exhale, all the way to the end of the breath, notice what happens to your core. Notice what happens to your abdominals. Okay, let's try it again. And if you don't like the hissing, pretend like you're blowing out through a straw. So, and same thing, slow and with intent. And think about these lower abdominals and watch what mine do as I do this, as you do it with me. So inhale into your ribs. Exhale. And feel those lower abdominals getting tighter and possibly wrapping around. Now you may not be feeling anything yet, which is totally fine. Now I want you to think of your hip bones, your sticky outy hip bones right here. They're called ASIS bones. And I want you to think about the muscles in between them underneath your belly button. Okay, so we're just talking from here to here. Think about those muscles. And then exhale again, whether it's hissing or blowing through a straw, and feel your hip bones being pulled together by those lower abdominals. See if you can feel that. We're going to try that one more time. So go ahead, inhale. Exhale. This time, think about zipping up from the bottom to your belly button. And feel that. And once your core goes tight and you can feel those muscles working, now see if you can also move your pelvis. I can feel my lower core. It is engaged, but I am still able to move. That is the core engagement I want on my horse. Those are the deep core muscles that keep me stabilized and that keep me moving the way that I need to move when I'm riding. So as we go through these exercises, I want you to think of those lower abdominals. Think of your hip bones coming in. Think about zipping up. Whatever cue works for you in your brain, think of that as we're doing these exercises. So the first exercise, go ahead, come down to your hands and knees. And we're just going to do some crawling. So come to your hands and knees where your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. Your knees are directly under your hips. And you're going to lift your right hand and left leg and move forward. And then do the next ones. But what I want you to focus on when you do this is not allowing your hips to shift side to side, and your hands, your back, nothing's dropping. So it's not sloppy. You're going to turn around. Feel free to crawl around the room. You don't have to be on a camera, but think about staying very, very stable. And what does your core have to do to keep you stable? I can feel mine kicking in. If you go backwards, what does your core have to do? And if this feels really easy for you to be able to keep your core underneath your belly button drawn in and up, the next challenge is to come up on to just your toes so your knees are off the ground. And again, move your right and left, and then your left and right. And crawl around the room that way. And feel those core muscles coming in and up as you do it. So now, the next move I wanted to do is to come to your hands and knees still, or if your wrists are bothering you, you can place your forearms down on the ground, but make sure that your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. And then think of that exhale and straighten your right leg back behind you. Don't allow yourself to shift to the side. Okay, so you're going to stay, your hip height stays even. Exhale, lift and lower that leg. And lift, lower, lift and lower. Don't allow your back to be moving. Your back is going to stay like a tabletop. Your hips are not shifting. Stay stable. Lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. And 3 more. 1, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. Last one, lift and lower. And switch sides. So again, inhale. Exhale, straighten your right leg. Don't let your hips drop. Stay centered. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. For 3, 4. Don't let your back arching around. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and last one, 10. Go ahead, release that. And if you need to, roll out your wrists. So we're going to do plank. Plank is kind of named as the cure-all for all core issues. And it's not. It's a good move, but there's other moves that we can do as well. So I want to show you plank. Place your hands out in front of you, legs back behind you. Come to your toes. And if that is too much for you, you can do it on your knees. That's fine. But a few things to note in plank. There should not be a booty up in the air with a back arch. Your hips, don't let them fall to the floor. You want them nice and stable, and then tuck your tailbone so that there's not a big arch in your back. Arch, tuck your tailbone, and then exhale Think of those lower stabilizing muscles holding you so that you're not just gripping with your six pack and your oblique muscles. Stay here and then release. And before we lie down on the ground and do the last core exercise, come to standing and place your right leg out to 180 degrees. So it's out straight. Your left leg will also be straight, but your foot is pointing slightly inward. Inhale, raise your arms up to shoulder height. Exhale, think of the lower abdominals coming in and up, and hinge at the hips, moving towards your right leg. When your hips can't hinge anymore and your back starts to arch and round, go ahead and reach your right hand down, your left arm up. Exhale, use those deep core muscles to hold you here. And then go ahead and reach your right arm up to shoulder height and move your left hand up by your ear, your left arm. And keep using that core. Use it. And then come back up and switch sides. So now your left foot is pointing out straight. Right foot is pointing slightly in. Inhale, arms come up to shoulder height. Relax them down just a little. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Don't let your spine arch and round. So you're not bending, you're just moving your hip. And then reach your right arm up to the sky. Left hand down to the floor. And again, exhale. Think of those hip bones coming together. Your core is zipping up. Reach your hands away from you. And then reach your left arm out to the side at shoulder height and bring your right arm up by your ear. Keep breathing. And then go ahead, release. Last move. Lie down on your back with your knees bent, feet flat on the floor. And if your ribs are popping up off the floor and there's an arch in your back, go ahead and take a pillow or a yoga dome under your head till the back of your ribs are rested on the floor. Now place your hands on your lower belly. Inhale. Exhale. Think of your lower belly moving away from your hands, hip bones coming together, and lift your right leg into a 90-degree position where your knee is directly over your hip. When you do that, don't let your hip drop to the side. Keep it stable and then place it back down. Inhale again, exhale. Lower abdominals come in and up. Left leg comes up. So going at your own pace now, go ahead and lift and lower. Now as you do it, ensure that you're not bulging your belly up, your back is not arching, and your hips are staying stable and still. And you can move your legs a little bit faster if you want. And you can move them more times in one breath. Let's do 3 more seconds. Keeping stable, feeling your lower abdominals working. And then place your legs down on the floor. and windshield wiper them out. Of course, there's many more exercises in this program that work your core, but I hope these ones are helpful. See you in the next one. Bye.